Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another edition, a playoff edition of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan here on the Epic Sports Network. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partners this evening, Mr. Jamal Gumo and Ed Cole. And gentlemen, we are excited for another exciting week of football. And this time, it's the second season, as we call it, and the playoffs get underway. They're already underway here in the Grand Canyon State.
Yeah, gentlemen, good evening. We finally have hit the second season, something we've been waiting on all season long. And now it is time to get it on for playoff football to determine who are going to be these state champions. This is going to be so much fun, Jamal, this run to get that gold.
It's playoff time. There's no better time. I love the playoffs. Again, this is when it matters the most. And who's going to show up? This is where legends are made. Gentlemen, I think we might be talking to a few here tonight.
That's exactly right. We got an outstanding game for you this week. Our first week as we transition to Friday nights when the playoffs begin, as the NFHS Network will be the site of the playoff game this week. We feature which hosts the Millennium Tigers hosting the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. And we had the Millennium Tigers on earlier this season on Thursday Night Football as they took care of business over Towson High School. And guys, that's a super tough football team, and we all know how dangerous that Damari Bryant can be.
Oh, yeah. It's almost 2,000 yards rushing, Jamal, 29 touchdowns. They've kind of fell off a little bit the last couple of weeks. They lost to Canyon View, and they got a beat down by Desert Edge. They gave up 66 points to them. I mean, but they're Desert Edge. They pretty much run over everybody, right? So, you know, that's just a rite of passage if you're Millennium to get beat by Desert Edge, who they beat everybody. But still, 7-3, great season. We're going to talk to Raiden Rebull and Caden Johnson. So many great talented players on that Millennium Tigers football team, Jamal. And I know they're ready to get it on with Yuma Catholic on Friday night at home.
Yeah, that's a very talented football team over there Millennium has, and I'm excited to watch them on Friday night. Of course, you said it, JP, we're going to be there. And Ed, like you mentioned, this is a talented football team. And, you know, one of the guys that you mentioned, Damari Bryant. I mean, he's had multiple 200-yard games this season, rushed for almost 2,000 yards here. And again, at the high school level with all the talent that we see in Arizona. So again, that's pretty impressive in itself. I'm looking forward to it. This dynamic run game of Millennium. And, you know, when we saw him, we saw him play against Tolleson, who I believe was undefeated at the time and gave Tolleson their first loss. So this Millennium team is really, really good. And I'm excited to watch them in the playoffs here on Friday.
Yo, they are so good on offense with Raiden Rebull. Of course, Damari Bryant, what can you say about that young man and the year he is having? But they play really good defense as well. So it's going to be a tough challenge for Coach Vernon Smith in his first season there at the helm for Yuma Catholic, of course, taking over for the legendary Coach Rhett Stallworth, who gave up the position at the end of last season. So I'm excited to see what this new look Shamrocks team is all about. And of course, we'll have that game live this Friday night at 6:30 p.m. on the NFHS Network. So make sure you get on there, create an account, get yourself a login, get a subscription, whatever you need, so you're ready to go for playoff season. You can get, I believe it is a $9.99 subscription per month, and that gets you through an entire 30 days of broadcasting. That'll take you all the way through the gold ball ceremony coming up. I believe that's the first weekend or so in December. But guys, the playoffs are underway as we take a look at the 5A bracket right here. And some interesting matchups, to say the least. Of course, we have our game on Friday night, Yuma Catholic against Millennium, but you got a Maricopa Notre Dame prep matchup in the first round. Gilbert will take on a very tough Desert Mountain Wolves team. Cienega at Sunny Slope will be a fantastic matchup. Verado takes on Camp Verde. Tucson at Cactus Shadows. A lot of traveling going on here in the 5A Friday. And Mount Marana at Buena. So that's an outstanding matchup there in Southern Arizona. And guys, as you look at this 5A bracket, what are some other ones you're be paying attention to this Friday night? And hopefully we'll be able to give some folks some live look-ins during our game as well on some of the other action.
Oh, Jamal, that's going to be so hard. I mean, it's like a pick 'em for every one of these games. You really don't know who's going to win any of these games because they're all talented football teams that will have the right to move on to take on Desert Edge or Cactus or Horizon, Marana, Desert View, Canyon View, AZ College Prep, ALA Gilbert North. So whatever teams come out of all these football games are going to have a tough second round of the playoffs as they move on next Friday night. But yeah, Jamal, what jumps out at you? Pretty much all these games jump out to me. Obviously, our game at Millennium, but my goodness gracious, so many great matchups on Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's no bad games. There are no bad games. I'm looking forward to seeing all of these games. The one that stands out to me is this Maricopa and Notre Dame Prep game. Last year, I believe, fellas, we saw Notre Dame Prep in the playoffs, and they look pretty good. They did their thing, and now they're looking to make another run here in the playoffs this season. And so that's another team that, again, at home, who should have that home crowd behind them. That's one of the games I'm looking at specifically. But again, there's really no bad games. I think all of these games are going to be extremely competitive.
They're going to be fun, and we had a great time as well over the weekend putting up a Twitter vote and having people vote actually on the broadcast that we were going to be doing the next week. And I tell you what, coming in a close second was the second game we're going to feature tonight here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. That is the Flowing Wells Caballeros against the Mountain Pointe Pride. And if you look at this 5A bracket, guys, there's so many Tucson teams traveling to the Valley of the Sun to play a local team, and those matchups are always intriguing.
They are, and you mentioned Flowing Wells. They're coming up from Tucson as well. They had a solid season, 7-3, 3-3 in the 5A Southern. Great job there by head coach Brian Hook and his football team. They're taking on the tough Mountain Pointe Pride team. They're 6-4. John Roberts has his guys ready and primed for the second season. They started off 3. They had an up and down, topsy-turvy season. We'll talk to Coach Roberts about it, but they started off 3-0, lost 3 straight, won 3 of their last 4. So they've had their share of ups and downs, a roller coaster season, if you will, Jamal. But they are in the second season. That's really all that matters, and they get to host Flowing Wells on Friday night.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. This team has definitely faced some adversity this season so far. But once you get into the playoffs, it's all the regular season doesn't matter. Once you get in, it's now okay. Blinders on. What's in front of you? That's what you're looking for. You're looking for a playoff game. You're looking, how do we win this game? How do we win these 48 minutes? And so this again, Flowing Wells coming in this game. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, again, a scrappy team. They're going to be competitive. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be fun. Let's take a look at the 4A bracket now. Some intriguing matchups there as well. And we'll get that for you here in just a moment. And I'm excited to see a lot of these games. Northwest Christian against Walden Grove. Here we have another Valley team facing one of the Southern Arizona squads. Yunker facing off against ALA West Foothills. Deer Valley and St. Mary's. That should be a really good ball game there in the 4A. Paradise Honors is taking on the Peoria Panthers. Estrella Foothills against Saguaro, a Tucson area team as well. Sierra Linda taking on a team from the Western Slope out in Lake Havasu. We had them on Thursday Night Football, believe it or not, in the COVID year of 2020. Desert Sunrise against Eastmark. And once again, some great matchups as well as Mesquite and Coconino. So now you have a Mesquite team out of Gilbert traveling up to Flagstaff to battle the Coconino Panthers. I mean, there is just game after game. I mean, how are we going to have enough screens to watch all these matchups on Friday night is the question.
I know, right? It's crazy. So many great matchups and how all these teams came together. Of course, JP and Jamal, we saw Paradise Honors up close and personal. That's a really good team. That's a number 24 team in the 4A. They're taking on the Panthers. That's going to be a hard out for Peoria if they're going to knock off Paradise Honors and take on Marcos Deniza in the second round. So all these games, man, they are so interesting, so intriguing, so many different storylines from every one of these games as these teams look to move on to the second round and take on the higher seeded teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the games I'm looking at in Peoria and Paradise Honors. Peoria, a top 10 seed, obviously, who's been dominant all season long, and a Paradise Honors team who we had on Thursday Night Football, like you mentioned, JP, going into Peoria and trying to upset the Peoria Panthers. So I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be another. But again, there's not a single game that I am not looking forward to. And like you guys mentioned, how we're going to find all the screens to watch these games, I have no idea. But I know we're going to find a way to do it because there's none of these games, all of these games are can't miss.
You know, you just hope that more than not of these games are actually going to be streamed or broadcast this Friday night. And judging by the looks of the bracket here, it looks like almost every single one of them is slated to be broadcast, of course, on the NFHS network. I see Paradise Honors and Peoria is not on the broadcast schedule, at least as of yet. But all the other games in that 4A right there are slated to be broadcast this Friday night. And Deer Valley St. Mary's looks really good. And then I'm
Mhm.
excited to see what Northwest Christian does against a really good Walden Grove Red Wolves team down there under Coach Noble. Ed, we've talked with Coach Noble a number of times here about in the past calendar year or so, and he has that program on the rise down there in Southern Arizona.
Oh yeah. So let's see if the Crusaders can go down there, get a win, and knock off the number 13 seeded team. Then take on to go and take on Mojave next Friday, which should be another great game. Whoever comes out of that, but man, this is so exciting! I cannot wait for Friday to get 5 and 4A started, so we can go ahead and roll this thing all the way through December 5th when they meet at Mountain America Stadium for the championship.
Yeah, anything can happen, fellas. Again, these games are all going to be competitive. I can't really imagine too many blowouts in terms of just non-competitive games and just kind of snooze fest because of the talent that's here in Arizona, as we've mentioned all season long. And so, again, these matchups, specifically the ones you guys were talking about at Northwest Christian at Walden Grove, I think that's going to be another fantastic game. And I'm loving all the attention that these guys are getting. So I'm excited for it.
Taking a look at the 3A bracket here in the last couple of minutes as we await the arrival of the Millennium Tigers. We see that Coach Early is ready to roll. That's fantastic. We'll also be joined by a couple of his outstanding athletes here as well tonight. Of course, we're featuring them this Friday night in our broadcast playoff matchup as the Millennium Tigers are hosting the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. You look at the 3A, and it's jam-packed as well. River Valley against Sholo, an 8 and 9 matchup. Page against another good Push Ridge Lions team. They've really been doing great down there in Southern Arizona. Florence and Thatcher. That'll be taking place at Eastern Arizona College at 7 p.m. on Friday night. Thatcher is a team we're going to have on Thursday Night Football if they're willing to travel on a Thursday night next season as they'll battle the Payson Longhorns. That's going to be a fun one. I can't wait for that, as we'll hopefully get that thing officially scheduled sometime in the very near future. Blue Ridge and Chrisman do battle this Friday night in the 3A. Gilbert Christian at the aforementioned Payson Longhorns. And then Sabino against Valley Christian, and Valley Christian doing really well over there in Chandler this season.
Oh yeah, the one that really sticks out to me, Jamal, I'm looking at 11 against 6. Blue Ridge and Chrisman. That place is going to be rocking on Friday night as the Yellow Jackets come in to take on Chrisman and try to knock that team out and move on to the next round. But again, all of these games are fantastic matchups. But that 11-6, that really is kind of catching my eye right now. What's catching you in the 3A?
Yeah, the game that's catching my eye is River Valley and Sholo. We got to talk to those guys in Sholo last week, and again, what a locked-in squad, what a connected squad that is. And I think that's going to be a game where that Sholo is at home, and I'm sure that place is going to be rocking next during the playoffs. And so that's one of the games I'm looking at, is to see if they can keep that momentum going into the playoffs and make a run in this 3A division. But this is another place where it's all going to be exciting games, and I cannot wait for it.
It is playoff time indeed here in the Grand Canyon state of Arizona. Stay with us. We'll take a quick commercial timeout, and when we return, we will visit with the host of this Friday's playoff broadcast right here on the Epic Sports Network, on the NFHS Network, as the Millennium Tigers host the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. Stay with us. We'll be back with Coach Early and the Tigers after the break.
It starts with a dream and a desire to be the best. You got the talent, you got the drive, and the work ethic. But to get recruited, it takes more than that. You need a playbook. That's where Recruit ID comes in. Our digital tools connect you with college programs that are fast, easy, and effective. Your dream is closer than you think. Let's get you seen. Visit recruitid.net and take your recruitment to the next level.
Get ready to feel the burn in Phoenix's newest hotspot. Hot Chicken Alley brings the sizzling Nashville-style hot chicken straight to your plate. Our finger-licking sandwiches will set your taste buds on fire. Come join us for a taste of Nashville right here in Phoenix at the corner of Tatum and Thunderbird. Brace yourself for a flavor explosion that'll keep you coming back for more. Hot Chicken Alley, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Football, right here on the Epic Sports Network.
All Insurance has been serving Arizona drivers for over 30 years, so we have the experience to take great care of you. We can help you over the phone or face-to-face from one of our 30 convenient valley-wide locations. We represent all of the top carriers, so we do the shopping for you. Find out why we're the most referred agency in Arizona. All Insurance, insurance for all.
We welcome you back here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Swibby alongside my broadcast partners, Mr. Ed Cole and Jamal Gumo this evening. Pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the Millennium Tigers, Coach Lamar Early, joining us, along with Raiden Riebel and wide receiver Caden Johnson also joining us here on the program. What a jam-packed lineup of Tigers we got. We'll start with Coach Early. Coach, you guys are peaking at the right time, headed into the playoffs. Just tell us how the mood of the football team is right now as you guys are getting ready for that all-important second season.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Okay. First of all, thank you guys for having us again. But as far as the program, I mean, we're excited to be back in the playoffs. And we're looking forward to just seeing what this Millennium Tigers team can do in the playoffs. So the mood is excited, but we also know that we got a job to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, Coach, I know you're not going to rest on your laurels and say, "Oh, that's great. We went 7-3. We made the playoffs. Oh yeah, we made the second season." You know, you want to do more than that, Coach. You want to run 4 off in a row and get that state championship. So it's going to take a lot more work, but you are in the dance, which is a prerequisite to winning a championship. But you have more work to do.
Exactly. And the boys, they know that also. We talked about it on Saturday and on Monday. So that's our focus right now. It's going 1-0 right now.
Yeah, Coach, I kind of want to speak to that. Obviously, you had a very successful regular season going 7-3. I'm curious to see, how do you think about it? Do you like to use the regular season as a base to start, or do you like to completely flush the regular season and treat the playoffs as almost like a new season?
Well, you can't just erase it because there's learning curves that we can take from the regular season, in which we've talked about that, especially our last opponents. But I think our last opponents and even our region have gotten us ready for what we're about to, the task that we're going to have to take on, starting with the playoffs with Yuma Catholic.
Coach, we know you got a very special running back there at Millennium High School in Damari Bryant, seemingly setting all kind of school records this season. But you also brought along Raiden Riebel and wide receiver Caden Johnson along with you here this evening. Tell us what these young men mean to the Millennium program.
Well, nothing happens for Damari without these two. Raiden is the quarterback, and he manages the game for us. Caden is being one of the explosive receivers in the state of Arizona. It just opens things up for Damari, and also, with their success, he gets it also.
Raiden, what a season you had. 71% completion rate, almost 2,000 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's the most impressive thing to me. A 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Just assess your season, Raiden, as you get ready to go into the second season. How would you grade out your regular season performances?
I mean, yes, it was a very good statistical season for me, but I always think there's always room to improve. It's all a big accomplishment making it to playoffs for this team. We're also very hungry, excited to see what we can do in the playoffs. Very good team in Yuma Catholic coming up. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it without any of my guys, especially Caden, Damari, my whole O-line. So I'm just very grateful to have them.
Caden, I'm looking at your stats: 591 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns. How important is it to be able to finish those drives, especially down in the red zone? Obviously, you like to get the explosives, right? The 40 to 50-yard touchdowns. But down in the red zone, how important is it, again, for you and it's also Raiden, to be able to finish those drives in the red zone?
I mean, it's good. We have a connection to, after practice, we'll throw together, make sure we get the passes down and making sure that every catch, every throw is perfect, and just making sure in the end zone it's okay to block and all that as well.
Raiden, talk to us about your offensive line and the abilities they have up front to keep you clean and provide not only the holes for Damari Bryant, but allow you enough time to find talented wide receivers such as Mr. Johnson here down the field for big plays.
My line, they've been working since last season, since last February. They've been they've been working. They've been putting work in the weight room. They always hang out. They're their own family. Like we're all very close, but they're actual brothers. Like they always go eat places, all do all this cool stuff with each other. I mean, I think that's what really determined their success this year. Like they talk, they fix everything, they give me time. I mean, there's nothing more I could ask for.
Raiden, of course, your running numbers aren't as gaudy as Damari's numbers. Hardly anybody in the state or the country are, for that matter, but almost 300 yards rushing. We saw you on a couple of these clips that you're able to scoot out, get away from pressure, and get some yards, advance your offense on drives. 5 rushing touchdowns. The ability for you to be a dual threat quarterback, of course, with your arms, with the 24 rock throws for touchdowns, but your 5 rushing touchdowns and just the yards you get on the ground. Talk about your ground game in your offensive repertoire.
I like to say I'm pass first, but I can always get it done with my legs if I have to. I like to thank Damari for that too, because he sets it up for me with everybody looking at him, keying on him. It always makes it easier for me to get out and do what I can do, make yards happen. I mean, 5 touchdowns. I think that's the most I've had. I'm not gonna lie, but it's something. I like running. Set the tone a little bit, because I think as a team captain, setting the tone really brings the energy through the whole team.
Raiden, you actually just mentioned being a team captain and also being a senior and upperclassman. How important is leadership to you, especially going into the playoffs and making sure that everybody is calm, everybody's locked in, everybody's ready to go?
I try to rally my guys, and like I said earlier, we're very hungry. We want to prove what we can do. And these last 2 games hasn't shown everybody what we're capable of. And we're trying to come out and make a statement this Friday. And I'll tell you that Zach, Caden, everybody on our whole team, we're trying to rally, but they're coming behind us, I'll tell you that. So it's going to be exciting.
Caden, what kind of luxury is it to have a running back like Damari Bryant on your team, where he's getting so much attention almost every single play that allows you to maybe get a lot more of those one-on-one matchups that you probably feel pretty confident in, that hey, I can get this guy one-on-one. If I get that matchup, coach, give me the go ball.
Yeah, I mean, having Damari, he's a really explosive running back. And, whenever I get the chance to, get the ball, I really make some out of it.
Caden, what's your preparation like for the playoffs? Of course, we know it's one and done. You win, you move on, you lose, it's over. So the pressure probably has to mount a little bit more, knowing that if you lose to Yuma Catholic, your season's over. But if you win, you can advance to the next round. But so for you, your mental and your physical preparation this week for Yuma Catholic.
Well, my mental is just, making sure I'm locked in through the week, going over the plays and making sure I know everything and know my job. And going into this Friday, I just really hope that we come with we get a victory and everybody does their job correctly, and we can advance to the next week and so forth.
Caden, tell us about the threats that you see that Yuma Catholic's defense pose. Obviously, you being a receiver, so you could talk about their secondary, or you could talk about some other threats that they pose. But what are you seeing from Yuma Catholic's defense this week?
They play a lot of zone coverages. They are the corners, they play a little bit back. And just attacking any short and deep plays we can shoot at them.
Coach Early, we know there's a lot of work ahead in the next few days as you guys continue to prepare for this home playoff first round game. But what would it mean to the community there to secure a win on Friday night and move this thing into the second round?
Well, I mean, that's one thing. Like being where I'm at, it is community based, and we have a lot of people behind us, and wanting our success. And we can't ask for anything more than that. And our biggest thing we've been talking about, not just 1-0, going 1-0, but making sure our preparation is the best it's ever been this week, because it is do or die pretty much. If you could say that, because you've got if you're not locked in and you're not mentally prepared, you can be, like you said, your season can be over. And that's something that we don't want. And I know our community's been behind us, and we've been hearing a lot of good things. And but we all just know that it comes down to Friday night and make sure that we're executing the right way.
Raiden and Caden, this is both for you. The pride that you take playing at Millennium and being at home, the place is going to be packed. People are just going to be going crazy and nuts for you because they love you and your football team. Talk about the pride that you have. Raiden, I'll start with you. The pride that you have being at home and holding court at home, which you hope you will be able to do against Yuma Catholic. And then Caden, just go ahead and follow up on him. Just playing at Millennium and being at home and hosting a home playoff game. This is pretty big for you guys.
Yeah, it's very big. As it is my last home football game, I wanna go out good at home, go out with a win. I think it's very big as well, getting a home field advantage. You know, playing in front of your home field fans, your own community, getting all the support that they show. It's very huge. Want to go out on a good note. Last home game, yeah.
Having the last home game here, it's really just about the advantage. You know, coming out, you're the home team, you have pressure on you, but the opposing team also has pressure. They came from Yuma and coming to try and beat us. So we just got to make sure that we come out aggressive and making sure we end with a victory.
Coach, you're wearing a shirt that says "No Excuses" with a Millennium Tiger on it. How important, and I'm sure that's obviously one of the biggest phrases in your guys' locker room. How important is, and obviously this starts before the season, but how important is the culture, especially going into a game like this, where is obviously the most important game of the season?
Well, and you're correct. The culture is so important because, you know, last time I was on the show, we went 3-7 last year, and there had to be some soul searching, not only just with me as a head coach, but coaching staff, the boys, to get back to the culture of what we built this program into, and it's going to the playoffs and contending for a state championship. And what we've done this year is, again, not a shock because the coaching was bought in by these young men. And so taking the culture from the regular season and just continue into the postseason is going to be huge because we cannot forget what we've done to get us to the postseason. And that's how we started it this all season, and that's how we've continued to talk, what we've been continuing to talk about throughout the entire season. We got to remember, hey, we had to embrace the suck, and while we embrace the suck, it's got us to the postseason, and that's what we have to remember, you know, and just all the work that we put in to get here.
Coach, we've been around this game of football. Final question for you here as we get you guys out of here in a minute. We've been around this game of football for a while, and we know that anything can happen when it comes playoff time. All you got to do is just get into the playoffs, and then everybody's got a shot. How do you convey that to your team and let them know, hey, you have got to be on point. Every little detail has got to be ironed out and talked out. If you got a question about a play, you need to ask it now. We need to get all this stuff ready to go because Friday's coming.
Yes, and that goes back to the preparation. And we talked about it actually at the end of practice today, making sure that we're watching film, making sure that we know our opponents, because come Friday, it's go time. And so we have to make sure that we are mentally prepared, of course, physically prepared, but more mentally just knowing our job and not having miscues. And, you know, it's going to come down. You got to win your individual battles every single down. And we talked about that, and they know that. Like I said, their schedule is built in for the playoffs. But like you said, anything can happen. We just can't have no if, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We want to make sure that we are prepared to the most. And, you know, we know that some things are going to happen that we didn't see. We try to get them prepared for those obstacles that might happen, you know. So I'm very confident in our coaching staff and how they've been preparing these young men every week. And I don't look at it no different this week.
Head coach Lamar Early, wide receiver Caden Johnson, and quarterback Raiden Riebel joining us here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. Gentlemen, we are excited for our first trip to the home of the Tigers this Friday night as we have you guys on against the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great next couple of days, and we'll see you on Friday afternoon.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Stay with us. When we return, we will catch up with the Flowing Wells Caballeros. Stay with us. More of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan after the break.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
starts with a dream and a desire to be the best. You got the talent, you got the drive, and the work ethic. But to get recruited, it takes more than that. You need a playbook. That's where Recruit ID comes in. Our digital tools connect you with college programs that are fast, easy, and effective. Your dream is closer than you think. Let's get you seen. Visit recruitid.net and take your recruitment to the next level.
We welcome you back to the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Swivey alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Jamal Gumo and Ed Cole. Gentlemen, a great game we've got on Friday night as we feature the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks battling in a playoff game, the Millennium Tigers. I'm excited for that one, but another game taking place this Friday night features the Flowing Wells Caballeros against the Mountain Pointe Pride. We'll talk with the Mountain Pointe Pride in just a little bit, but joining us right now is Athletic Director Mark Brunenkamp from the Flowing Wells High School. Mr. Brunenkamp, thank you so much for your time this evening. I know you brought a couple of players along with you here, but just tell us about the state of Flowing Wells football down there in the southern part of Arizona.
Done a great job. Just like any successful season, it starts with culture, and Coach Hook has done an amazing job establishing that the last 3 or 4 years, and we're real excited to be able to participate in the playoffs this season.
Yeah, you've had a great season, Mr. Brunenkamp. 7-3, 3-3 in the 5A Southern. That's a tough region to come out of. But your defense was really strong this year. You shut out 3 opponents this season. So talk about your defense and how strong it was as one of the 3/3 of a football team that JP and Jamal and I always talk about. Your defense was really strong this year and helped you toward those seven wins this season.
Yeah, Coach Maddox, who's our defense coordinator, has been with us since Coach Hook's been in the program since 2014, and he does a great job. Loves football. He studies it all the time. For us to be able to do the things we do on offense, you got to play nails on defensive side. And credit to Coach Maddox and the players on our defense. Marcus DeVoy, I believe, who's going to be on here, one of the senior leaders, if not the senior leader on our defense, all 4 years in the program. And Marcus has done a great job. He's a fiery player, motivation player, loves the game of football. And like I said, to be able to do the things we do, we got to play knockout defense.
Mark, can you just tell me about Coach Brian Hook and the coaching staff and how important they've been to the success of this program?
Yeah, Coach Hook, he came along again. I want to say 2014, actually earlier 2012. He was teaching in a very small district, a rural district in southern Arizona. We stumbled upon him. I was actually the head coach at the time, and he was my offense coordinator, and he has grown immensely throughout the years. Loves Flowing Wells. He has some college experience, being a GA and an assistant at the college level. Loves the game. He takes off season. He loves going to clinics across the country. We try to support him in doing that. Always tries to find a way to build our program. And he loves the weight room. He's a weight room guy. He's established that culture, and he's gotten our kids bigger, faster, and stronger. So it's been we hear all the corny sayings, brick by brick. But it's definitely been a process, and we're happy where we're at right now, and we're just excited to have this opportunity on Friday to represent Southern Arizona in the playoffs.
Middle linebacker Marcus DeVoy joining us here as well. Marcus, we've been taking a look at your film here for the last couple of minutes. You've got what coaches love to see, that killer instinct, especially from a middle linebacker. Where does that come from, and where do you get that propensity for contact?
So Coach Brunenkamp, you talked a lot about the culture here at Flowing Wells, and really defensively, we bring this killer instinct culture. We're hyping around, we're flying everywhere. We've got dudes just flying around ready to hit, man. And the past 4 years, they've really been embedding this culture to ready to go. And it's paid off this year a lot.
So Marcus, I know that James I know you saw the Denver Broncos. I see him in queue. He saw the Denver Broncos logo back there. That's what he's so excited about.
Oh yeah, we just became best friends, just like that. Wasn't that easy? Mark? It's so easy. We're already family, so you didn't even know. Go ahead, Ed. What's your question?
Hey, Marcus, 92 total tackles, 19 TFLs, monstrous numbers, dude, at that middle linebacker spot, that Mike linebacker spot. I always say, to play middle linebacker, you got to have something wrong with you. Just a little bit something wrong with you. You got to be a little sick in the head to do what you do at that Mike linebacker spot and lead the entire defense. But just talk about the leadership that you flow with at that middle linebacker spot. It's a very important spot of the defense. You got to make sure everybody's lined up on the defensive line, your other LBs to your left and to your right, your secondary is all set. And of course you said as well.
Mm-hmm. So really it's all about trust. Coach Maddox trusts me, Coach Brindley and my linebacker coach, they really do trust me to get these plays out, to help out my teammates, make sure everyone's in the right spot. And really this trust is what makes me feel like some type of importance and like a drive to be better every day. Like they're trusting me to be good, so I have to go out there and perform at the next level, like at this elite level.
Marcus, Ed mentioned your stats this year, which are, by the way, ridiculous. 92 total tackles, 19 TFLs. The TFLs I want to point out specifically, 19 of them on the year. How important is it to get these high-powered offenses, as we've seen the talent here in Arizona, but these high-powered offenses behind schedule? How important is it to get them to 2nd and 11, 39, things like that, and in order for them to get down the field?
It's crucial. It really is crucial because it sets my defense up for success. We're able to bring in pressure. We're able to play different schemes. We're able to do what we want to do the best. Just getting them tackles for loss, like getting these dudes way back there in these 2nd and 15s and those things like that. It's crucial.
Wide receiver Benicio Ruiz joining us here as well on the program. Benicio, thank you so much for coming on with us. You got studs like Marcus on the defense. How does that make you better as an offensive player, not only in practice, but knowing in a game that, hey, you know what? If we make a mistake on offense or we are not able to convert a 3rd down and keep the drive alive, you know what? Our defense probably get the ball back for us pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, and it's really helpful to know that our defense is how good that it is, because even if we make a mistake on offense, like we know that our defense is going to stop them when we get another chance on offense.
Benicio, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're also the quarterback, right?
Yeah, I'm the starting quarterback.
Okay, he is a starting quarterback, so we got to change it up. Change his lower third, JP. Make it ATH. He's one of those athletes we talk about. But Benicio, so 607 passing yards, 8 touchdowns. You're also really solid on the running game. There you go. Mute that guy. 521 rushing yards. So again, one of those two-way players at the quarterback spot that can also run and throw the football. Just being able to do that, Benicio, and throw defenses off kilter, knowing, well, we got to account for Benicio with his arm as well as his legs. Talk about that and being so dangerous at that QB spot.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to play against me. Or I don't want to brag. I'm not trying to do that. But
no, it's okay. Go ahead and brag.
It's threatening because you really don't know like what's gonna happen. Like I could beat you over the top. I can beat you outside running. Like it's a lot to worry about.
Benicio, obviously you guys have a really, really high-powered running game. Specifically, I want to talk about Jaden Simmons, a guy who has over 1,100 yards rushing this season. What's your relationship like with Jaden, and how important is that run game to you guys' offense?
Oh, our relationship is really strong. Like we're friends outside of school. We hang out a lot, and I think it really helps with our chemistry and on the football field, like knowing like what we think that we're going to be doing and then just doing it.
Coach Brunenkamp, what kind of challenges do the Mountain Pointe Pride pose to you guys as ball club on Friday night? They're a talented team under the first-year direction of Coach Roberts, who was about halfway down to Tucson last season there in Vista Grande. What are you looking for from the Mountain Pointe Pride, and what kind of challenges will they pose to the Caballeros this Friday night?
Well, we're playing at their home field. I'm sure they'll have a huge crowd. They'll outnumber our crowd. We're going to bring a spirit bus, So we're gonna bring some fans, some students. It's big Maricopa County football versus Pima County football. David and Goliath. We just got to play sound football. We got to play disciplined football. We got to limit our mistakes. We have confidence in our kids. It's a great group. These two young men are not only leaders on the football field, but they're leaders on our campus in the community. So we're going to be outsized. We're going to be outnumbered. But you put on your pants the same way as they put on their pants, I hope. And we just got to play very sound football and take care of the football and stick to our fundamentals and see where it goes.
Marcus, what does it mean to be able to, one, make the playoffs, and two, then go on the road to Mountain Pointe to go into the belly of the beast to take on the Pride, a really good football team, but you guys can get on the buses, come on up to Mountain Pointe, handle your business like you've done all season long, and move on to the next round. Just the importance of getting on the road. It's you against the world, you against the entire Pride crowd that's going to be there. Again, that place will be in a frenzy as well, but just to hit the road and be in the playoffs.
It's a lot of fun. It means a lot to me because personally, every single year I played for Flowing Wells, we've always been the underdogs no matter what. Even this year when we were 6-0, we were always the underdogs. And to go on the road and have the opportunity to prove that we are a good football team, that we can compete with these guys, we can compete with the Maricopa County and these bigger counties. It's just really important to me. It means a lot to me to be able to do this.
So this question is kind of for both of you guys, both Marcus and Benicio, being the leaders of the offense and the defense. Going, of course, on the road for a playoff game, would you rather it be on the road where you can go and kind of shut the opposing crowd up, or would you rather it be at home where you got the support of your fans, you got the crowd going? Which way would you rather have it? Obviously, this is the road, but which way would you think it would be better?
You can go, Marcus.
Me personally, man, that there's something about that Flowing Wells community. Our stands are filled, they're packed, everyone's cheering. I got to play at home. Just playing in front of my friends, my family, it brings an extra level of motivation to be able to prove to them, to show them directly that I can play at this level.
Yeah, I think it would be. I would rather play away at their home, because just like Marcus said, showing that we can compete at this level. But we're going to be showing them that we can compete at this level. Like our community should know that we're good enough to be doing this. I want to show other people.
Final question for Marcus and Benicio. And Benicio, we'll start with you. How much are you soaking up this entire high school football experience? It goes by in the blink of an eye. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my high school football playing days and how much fun it was, and the road trips and the bonding that you have with your teammates. That's really what you're going to remember, because you won't remember the score of the game this Friday like 25 years from now, or the score in week 3, but you will remember the bus rides and the meals you had together with your brothers. Just talk to us how excited you are about that part of the playoffs.
I'm very excited. I mean, I've been playing since I was 5, and that's 13 years ago now that I've been playing. And these last 4 years have been my favorite. I've been playing with the guys I've grown up with, and it's just amazing to be able to get to go to playoffs with them.
It means a lot to me because I've been playing since I was 5 too. And at one point, me and Ben were playing on the same youth football team, and just be able to go to the playoffs. Flowing Wells hasn't been to the playoffs since 2018, so it's just great. It builds a sense of community, and it leaves these lifelong memories.
The Flowing Wells Caballeros joining us here tonight on the program. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We're excited for your playoff game this Friday night as you come to the Valley of the Sun to battle the Mountain Pointe Pride. Good luck, and we will make sure and catch up with you guys in the very near future. Thank you again for joining us here this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, fellas.
Stay with us. More of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan after the break. We visit with the Mountain Pointe Pride.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
On game day, communication is everything. Procom offers the most powerful, most reliable headsets on the market. Paired with our state-of-the-art coach-to-player communication tools, your team is sure to dominate. It's time to communicate like a pro. Visit us at procomheadsets.com.
Get ready to feel the burn in Phoenix's newest hotspot. Hot Chicken Alley brings the sizzling Nashville-style hot chicken straight to your plate. Our finger-licking sandwiches will set your taste buds on fire. Come join us for a taste of Nashville right here in Phoenix at the corner of Tatum and Thunderbird. Brace yourself for a flavor explosion that'll keep you coming back for more. Hot Chicken Alley, a proud supporter of Thursday Night Football, right here on the Epic Sports Network.
All Insurance has been serving Arizona drivers for over 30 years, so we have the experience to take great care of you. We can help you over the phone or face-to-face from one of our 30 convenient valley-wide locations. We represent all of the top carriers, so we do the shopping for you. Find out why we're the most referred agency in Arizona. All Insurance, insurance for all.
We welcome you back here on the Desert Gridiron Game Plan. James Spoovy alongside Mr. Ed Cole and Jamal Gumo. Guys, quick question. Are you tired of the hot chicken yet after we had a season's worth of Hot Chicken Alley? Go, Ed.
No.
Does a bear use a toilet?
Good answer. Great answer. What a pleasure it was to visit with the Flowing Wells Caballeros. And guys, I love getting to know a little bit more about those teams down in Southern Arizona.
Yeah, fellas, just the confidence just exudes from them, right? We were talking to Mark and Benicio and Marcus, those guys. As you mentioned, JG, the leaders on the offense and defense, those guys are supremely confident. They've been together. They're 7-3. They're going to hit the road, come take on the Pride on Friday night. They feel that they can come up and get a victory, move on to the second round. And why not?
Yeah, you guys mentioned they are supremely confident, as they should be. They've had a very good season. And again, talking to those guys, and for me specifically, Marcus, being the leader of that defense, and again, showing leadership both on and off the field, leading by example, and then telling his guys kind of, all right, let's lock in. We got to get ready to go off the field. I love the way that he spoke. I love the way that he kind of represented himself. And I'm so excited for this game. And I don't see any reason why Flowing Wells couldn't go and upset Mountain Pointe this weekend. And
James, couldn't you just sense the love and the passion they have for football? When Benicio and Marcus were talking, Marcus said they've been playing since their youth, since they were 5 years old. So those guys have been playing together for 13, 14 years. So they've already got that bond that a lot of football teams and a lot of players wish they could have.
Yes, and you guys know how much, especially being former players yourself, you know how much that chemistry means when you're able to bond with guys and kind of finish each other's sentences, and you can, you get out there on the football field and it shows. And you mentioned their confidence factor, and it was great as well to hear Mr. Brunenkamp talk about what excellent young men they are as well around campus.
Yeah, you've been through 10 games. You've been through some wars, JG. You've been through ups and downs. It's not been a perfect season. Of course, there is no perfect season. Even if you do go undefeated, you're going to have adversity. You're going to have challenges. There are going to be so many things that'll go right and wrong. But the fact that they stayed together through 10 games, and now they're going to get on the buses, head on up here on Friday to take on Mountain Pointe with a chance to move on to the second round of the 5A playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys mentioned, and obviously when you're going through it, it sucks. But that adversity during the regular season is absolutely crucial, because at that point, okay, I've gotten hit. Now I know I can get back up. And especially going up against a team like Mountain Pointe, you're going to get hit. That's a very talented football team over there. But now that you know that you can get back up after you get hit is extremely, extremely valuable. So the fact that they did have to go through some adversity, I think is going to pay dividends here in the playoffs.
We were hoping to have Coach John Roberts and a couple of his players joining us here this evening, but so far they haven't been able to make it in. But the young men that were going to join us was wide receiver Mekhi Hodge and middle linebacker Jalen Coulter. And Ed, we were talking earlier about that Hodge last name. That has got to be the younger brother of one Rashi Hodge, who played some outstanding football over there at Mountain Pointe High School, and then went on to have a little bit of stardom as well in the Indoor Football League for the Tucson Sugar Skulls.
Yes, and Mekhi had a good season this year, Jamal, 14 catches. nearly 200 yards receiving and three touchdowns at the tight end spot. And then what more can you say about Jalen? 107 tackles. We talk about Marcus being a monster. Jalen, 107, 12 TFLs, 10 sacks. These kids are just stat stuffers, Jamal. What they do on offense and defense and special teams, it is unbelievable at the high school level that these kids are achieving like they are.
Yeah, they jump off the screen. And they continue to make plays and make a name for themselves. I mean, you guys mentioned the stats. It's absolutely impressive what they've been able to do. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, it's not against bums. Like this Arizona is talented when it comes to high school football. And so the fact that they're putting up these numbers against the competition that they're playing against makes it that even more impressive.
And Ed, you said 12 TFLs. These kids are getting double-digit tackles for a loss in 10 games. That is unbelievable. That's more than a TFL a game. I'm no mathematician, but that's I think you'd take that if you're a defensive coordinator, especially at the high school level.
Yeah, you talk about Jalen and then Jamal and James. You look at defensive lineman Taylor Caldwell. His numbers are not shabby either. 64 tackles, 9 TFLs for this young man, 8 sacks, 15 quarterback hurries. So it's not just Jalen getting it done. It's Taylor and everybody else on this defense. 24 sacks. This team is just so solid up and down on defense. And then on offense, you'll figure, is it going to be Jordan Munoz or Christian Escobedo? We're going to figure out who their quarterback situation, who's going to play, because they usually like to mix these guys in and out on the quarterback spot. And then you got Sonny Norwood, a really good running back for Mountain Point. So it's going to be a challenge for this Flowing Wells defense to stop all these guys. And then on offense, JP, I know you like this. I know you like the pancake blocks. So they've got 95 of them, James. I know you love that stat.
95 pancake blocks. Can you imagine how much fun is it when you get to put a guy on his back? How much fun is that?
Jamal, in 10 games, they've got 100 pancake blocks, dude. What is going on over there?
That just speaks to the physicality of this team. And that's where it's going to be won. And high school, especially at this level, is won at the line of scrimmage. And when you tell me that
and
this
look at
team
this offensive line,
90,
Jamal, look at them.
It's ridiculous. Look at them. They're huge.
Look at, is that 57 or 67 down there? Is
that 57?
About like 6'10", it looks like.
He's about 8 feet tall, isn't he?
For guys like that, I like to say, if they were to step on my toe, I'd apologize. You know what I mean? Like, that's my foot shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
the thing about Mountain Point, ever since I got involved with Arizona high school football, which would have been 2010, is when I started coaching over at Phoenix Christian, and it was Mountain Point. Mountain Point was the standard. Coach Norris Vaughn had been there forever. He set the standard of what an Arizona high school football team was and should be. And ever since then, I've just been infatuated with this football team and the way they go about their business, and they just continue to keep the train rolling over there in Ahwatukee.
Okay, James, let's shout out number 57. That's Aaron Thomas. He's a senior offensive lineman.
Oh, yeah.
He is. Here's his numbers: 6'6", 305.
6'6", 305.
A mammoth of a human being.
If I'm not mistaken, he just decommitted from a school, maybe today or yesterday. I'd have to check the notes on that. But hey, when you're that good, you have those options. And I believe there was an Ohio State in the mix, if I'm not mistaken, among other schools who would definitely benefit from the services of one Aaron Thomas.
Yeah, Jamal, you think the Buckeyes would come a calling? You think they would love to have this guy on their offensive line? Yes.
With some of the offensive linemen coming out, Paris Johnson being, the most prime example, Josh Simmons in Kansas City. So that they have some very good offensive linemen. And so for Ohio State, again, my favorite team, but Ohio State to come calling for a guy like Aaron Thomas is very, very impressive. And you saw and I believe 6'6", 305, 6'7",
305. Yes.
My goodness.
An absolute behemoth.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a giant human being.
A human being shouldn't be that big and that strong and that powerful.
I mean, and imagine that guy running at you.
No.
You can have
not only that, but it's a matter of what he's going to account for. He's going to account for 2 guys on every single play, because if they don't, there's no way that anyone will be able to block him one-on-one.
No.
So right away, he's going to take up another offensive lineman, or he's going to have to take up, he's going to have to take up a chipper or something like that. But it's going to take that's the whole business, is he's going to account for extra numbers.
So I know there's interest. I'm looking up on 24/7 Sports. So there's interest from Texas A&M, Florida State, Ohio State, Washington, Arizona. These are just like 5 teams that are interested in Aaron Thomas. Unbelievable.
Bear down.
So he got an offer from all of them. He got an offer from ASU, Arkansas, Auburn, BYU, Cal, Central Michigan, Georgia State, Hawaii, Kansas State. I can go on forever. We can talk for the next 5 or 10 minutes about the teams that want Aaron Thomas. It's unbelievable. And why wouldn't they, Jamal?
It's insane. And these schools you're naming, I mean, you mentioned ASU, the Big 12 champions, Ohio State, the reigning national champions. These are big time schools. And so again, that just, you can be, now again, we've kind of gone on about his size. You can be as big as you want to, but if you're not skilled, if you don't have the technique, if you are not ready to go at the next, you're not going to get these offers. And that just shows you how locked in he is and the preparation that he puts into his game to show why he's getting these offers from these big time schools.
And then James, it just goes to show what they're doing over there with the Pride, as you mentioned, the program and the way they run things over there, the way that they groom these young men to be potential players that move on to the next level, and then the next level beyond that, which is the NFL. So it starts at the high school level, and then you get that basis, you get your basis set, you get everything set and prepared so that when you move on to one of those schools that Aaron's going to go to, he's ready for those 4 years. And then after that, heaven give him the blessing, he moves on to the NFL, he's ready for that stage of his life.
Yeah, those college coaches know their way down 48th Street in Knox over there in Phoenix very well, because they've been going there for years and years and years, because they just continue to turn out stud athletes over there for the Mountain Pointe Pride. What a show it's been, gentlemen. Thank you very much to our special guests who joined us tonight. Of course, the contestants in our Friday night playoff broadcast over at Millennium High School, Millennium Tigers, and the Yuma Catholic Shamrocks. And we also got to catch up with the Flowing Wells Caballeros, and unfortunately unable to catch up with Mountain Pointe tonight, but we were able to cover them a little bit. And we always look forward to seeing Coach Roberts and Mountain Pointe. And hopefully maybe next season we'll get out there for some Thursday night football once again now with Tukey.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's get in contact with Coach Roberts about that. Absolutely.
We shall do it for sure. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to another edition of the Desert Gridiron Game Plan Playoff Edition. Make sure you catch us this Friday night on the NFHS Network. Just search for Epic Sports Network, or you can search up the Millennium Yuma Catholic game. We'll be right there. We'll be on the air at 6:30 p.m. I'll have a special guest analyst join me. Mr. Matt Leishman will join me on Friday night, as Ed has a previous commitment. But we're looking forward to the game, and Jamal, you'll be there as well. We will see you folks on Friday night. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in Goodyear, Arizona